Hello Satellites there with Hollering Saints. Well, Atma Cycles stands for Consumer Powered Change. For every bicycle they sell, one is given to someone in need. Chief bicycle giver, ex-state cyclist, and the brain behind this social enterprise, Alex Carpenter, has started many businesses after graduating from the University of Western Australia. He then decided that he had to do something more than just make profit in business. Atma Cycles has partnered with Mandeshi Foundation in the Satara district in India to start off their venture. They will launch on the 20th of June at the Universal Bar in Northbridge. Alex Carpenter, before that, joins me on Morning Magazine in the studio. Welcome, Alex, to Morning Magazine.
Thanks for having me, Daniel.
So you're sitting in class at the University of WA.
Yep. Yeah.
And
so
what are you thinking?
So basically, I was studying accounting, so the whole concept of, why I'm studying accounting, what is this leading to, really occurred to me. And so from that, I started to think that I didn't want to be an accountant, so I thought business was a natural progression. But then when I got into business, it didn't really hit the key because it was too much about just making money and making profit. So I really wanted to do something a bit more meaningful. So I tried to figure out something that I could do on a day-to-day basis that really meant something to somebody else rather than just to me. So that's how Atma Cycles was really started.
And you have a history in bicycles. Did you use them at a young age?
Yeah, I certainly did. I have some of the fondest memories of riding to the closest place to get candy when I was about, would have been 10. And it was, then it felt like an enormously long ride, but it was probably only about 1.5 Ks, 2 Ks or something. And so when you came up with this idea for the bicycles and giving them to developing countries, what was the steps in which you took from there? So basically I was reading the book Start Something That Matters by Blake Mycoskie, which is the founder of Tom's Shoes. And in that, I really found out a lot more about what journey he went on to start Tom's Shoes. And I thought the idea of giving away shoes was quite revolutionary, and I instantly thought, because of my connection with bikes, that I could do the same with bicycles. And then I thought, well, what impact would a bicycle really have in the third world? So I did some more research and discovered World Bicycle Relief, which is an organisation that works in Africa. So they give away lots and lots of bikes, and they've been doing that for a long time. And they've done studies and found that it really, really does help to bring not only a family out of poverty, but it also helps the community bring them out of poverty. And so it's a really holistic approach. So that's where it's kind of come from.
How does it help? Like you say, will they introduce these? They give these bicycles away, but how does a bicycle change someone's life?
Yeah, so in the specifics of what we're doing, we're giving it to schoolgirls going from year 7 to year 8. Now, in the rural areas of India, you've got the primary schools, similar to country towns in Australia, you've got the primary schools that are located in their local village. But then once they've passed year 7, then in order to go to the next level, they need to travel to a distant village. And that's usually between, 2 and 15 kilometres away. And because of the roads in India, it's very dangerous for them to walk that distance. So they have to be pulled out of school because the family doesn't want to risk the girl's life. So she just ends her education there and starts becoming a house helper. And so what a bicycle really does is it gives that community and all of the girls in that community a way that they can travel together to this further distance and get a better education. So from education, training girls is been found to be the highest return in terms of solving poverty. Just because when women are educated and when women get money, they bring their whole family and their whole community with them. They're a lot less selfish than us men, and so they really change a lot as they get better off. So that's kind of why we're focusing on schoolgirls.
And what's your connection with India?
So my wife is Indian, and she's from the state of Maharashtra, Mumbai. So I've recently come back from there, where we actually went through an Indian ceremony over the wedding, and so that was quite an eye-opening experience. It was a very, very intense and beautiful thing. So that's how I'm connected to it. So I really want to go back and do something worthwhile.
Have you already started the process of donating bikes?
We haven't, but the Mandeshi Foundation Foundation has been doing this for 5 years, so they've already given away 7,400 bicycles to schoolgirls, which, when you consider the areas that they're working in, is a tiny little amount. So what we really want to do is expand on that program and really make it a global exercise. Not just, we want to start in Maharashtra, but grow and expand as fast as we possibly can, because it can really make a lot of difference in other third world countries as well.
Alex Carpenter is my guest on Morning Magazine this morning. We're speaking about Atma Cycles, donating bicycles to rural India and seeing the impact in which it is. Is it interesting to see, I mean, when you were over there in India, and did you go to some villages who had been donated with bicycles?
I didn't actually get the chance. I've been speaking to the founder of Mandeshi Foundation, Chetna, and she's very much so welcomed me in the partnership that we've got, and so she's welcomed me to next time I go there that we're going to go with them and enjoy that ceremony of giving the bikes away to the schoolgirls.
And how did you get involved with this particular organisation?
The wonderful power of Google. I was wondering how on earth we're going to do this, because obviously I have no background in alleviating poverty, and certainly not in giving away bicycles. So I was really wanting to find a really solid partner that could help me and train me in how to make a good effect. And so I stumbled upon them, and they're actually a microloans bank primarily started by the rural women of Maharashtra for the rural women. But they have a small bicycle program just to help the girls of, you know, the communities that they serve. So that's kind of how it's come, and I think it's a really, really positive program because it's so led by the community. It's not some third party. It's not like us going into there and telling the community that they need bikes. It's the community themselves saying we need bikes and then finding the bikes, and we're just giving them a hand.
Do you get nervous?
I do, just because, you know, I'm very young and I don't know anything about giving away bicycles, and I'm trying to alleviate poverty, global poverty, so it's quite daunting. But I think the thing that pushes me on is the fact that I'm not doing it for me. I'm not doing it for any personal gain. I'm doing it to mean something more to a girl on the other side of the world, you know, to really make an impact in her life. So I strive to make an impact in her life and not focus so much on myself. So that helps a lot with, nerves.
And how did the launch go?
The launch was amazing. The amount of support that we've received so far is just tremendous. We're running a crowdfunding campaign, and that's really, you know, helping me to see that the consumer-powered change really could have a large impact, and that consumers really are looking for an alternative to, you know, massive global profit-run enterprises. They do want something with a bit more meaning, where their money is going to something that a bit more than just some rich investor's bank pocket.
And where do the bicycles come from? Do people donate it and then they're shipped over there, or are they built over there? Where do they come from?
So we've got two bikes. One of the bikes is the ones that we're selling. So they're made in China, as everything is. But the other ones that we're giving away, we're going to be buying them from local manufacturers, depending on where we're giving them away, in order to support that local economy. So they'll be specific to that region.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations, Alex, and best of luck with your venture. Yeah, it's exciting. I guess what the most exciting thing for you would be to be like, here's a problem, and this is how we're solving it. And it's amazing on such a micro to, you know, something that was invented by Da Vinci with two wheels and a frame, and the impact on which that can have on a community.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's quite amazing that I would really urge anyone listening to think, you know, if you think you're capable of doing something, then really put your mind to it, because I think there's a lot of solutions out there, and there's a lot of ways of enabling yourself to really make a difference that weren't there before. And I think as the world gets smaller with the internet, you know, we're just going to see more and more of these solutions.
Thank you so much for your time, Alex, and thank you for joining us on Morning Magazine.
Thank you for having me.
Alex Carpenter was my guest on Morning Magazine this morning. He is the head of Atma Cycles, donating bicycles to rural India, on Morning Magazine on RTRfm 92.1.